I was the one who personally ordered the evacuation of Chernobyl. No one knows this, but I was contacted about it, and I said, you have to get the people out. You have to get it out now. Get them out now. I was the one who... It was by my personal order, they finally contacted me. Because it was my city. It's Lusifer Star's city. And I was the one who personally ordered it. It's my reactor. It's my White Star reactor. It had just been taken over by somebody else and had been stolen. And also was being held, whatever. But it was my city and my complex. Like, I paid for the building of all of this stuff. It's all my city. Lusifer Star. My epic, well, you could call it epic failure, but it wasn't really an epic failure because it was attacked. And they caused a nuclear fire in the ensuing firefight, or gunfight. It was a shootout, a massive shootout. And there was tanks and everything involved. And it was a massive robbery. And that went bad. You could say it was a robbery that went bad. Real bad. And caused a nuclear fire. The first and only possible nuclear fire on record. That was going to be like a planned beach or something. I forget what was that going to be. Anyway, this is all a whole planned city, basically. It's going to be beautiful and gorgeous. And it was. White Star City, white buildings. All white. You see other cities like Singapore. They're the same way. They're all white. Started in Auschwitz. Oh yeah, see my S building? Star. See my S buildings? They're S buildings. They're kind of like shaping the S a little bit. They're more like curved, but anyway, they're my buildings. Huge, gigantic buildings. White buildings. Not all of them white. Some of them we did beige or whatever. We did. I didn't want to do a solid white city, but anyway, all planned, all built. Singapore and other cities would follow suit the same way because I was building all over the world. It's a modern day city. Anyway, the radiation wasn't all that bad in here. A lot of people wanted to stay because the radiation was tolerable kind of in here. Well, after the nuclear fire and the fallout, that was the problem. Anyway, it's kind of returned to normal almost like that. Also, white houses, all white, planned buildings. I forget. I think we sprayed some sort of blackish, greenish kind of tar stuff over everything to set in any radioactive waste and get it to get down in the ground or whatever to stop it from blowing around, so we get a clear idea of how much radiation there was. Because the radiation, the nuclear fire, there's actually a thermite. Not thermite. Was it thermite? What's it called? Thorium and uranium fire. So that flared up. Also these things, windmills, one of a kind. We started building them, and it's another reason why I became rich. Those were started like 1950 or so. Later on, the company would become a fairly big company and maybe be doing the big windmills now. But I started out right there because it was kind of a windy city. Bell-shaped little umbrella things. Yeah, we did that a lot. A lot of nice colors. It was a beautiful city. There's lots of other... Singapore is the same way. Kind of built the same way. It's all LS, White Star. Lucifer White Star cities. White buildings. My color was white. A name that you probably won't ever be able to forget because I'm on 800 other... or 36 other planets. So... and Earth. Anyway, there was a thorium and uranium fire basically that got to the core. It breached the cooling system, and basically the reactor couldn't cool itself. So anyway, because that first building, that first little bump, the slightly taller building, that's where all the turbines and the cooling things were. The bottom floors were all the turbines were there. So it went from the reactor down or up, I forget. I think the reactor was supposed to be slightly lower than the actual. It was supposed to auto cool basically. Heat rises pretty much. I think the reactor was actually lower than the actual things. It was supposed to be so it automatically cool or something like that. Anyway, it'd go through all the turbines. Maybe the turbines were on the top floor. I don't know. Anyway, it'd go through the turbines first, and it would automatically want to cool the reactor. Yeah, it was a thermal siphon, so it automatically want to cool it. So the reactor would want to be cool. It was the safest reactor of its kind, really. I mean, probably even safer than modern day reactors, really. I mean, lots of time and effort went into it. It was $1 billion reactor or something like that. Worked on lead, like I say. You pull all those tiles off, all the lid caps. You pull them all off, and down inside there is the lead and everything else like that. How the reactor works. I forget exactly how it works. I used to call it the old lead reactors. It was a lead reactor, basically. Kind of different than the modern day reactors. Anyway, old school. Really old, probably designed in 1812, in 1812 or 1200 or something like that, or 1700 or something. Anyway, though, first class, best of its kind. Just like my LS Titanic ships, everything was the best possible. Anyway, we could build thousands of ships and everything else like that. Drinking beer through a thing, it doesn't work. Anyway, lots of scientists everywhere. So they wanted to kill the scientists because of everything. Special lenses. You can take film and take shots, but you need a leaded crystal lens, basically. You can't use normal lenses. It has to be a special lens, and it has to use a reflection mirror or whatever that keeps the radiation from getting to the film, and a special case. White, all white. It's all white. Everything's white. Lusifer, white star. He's everywhere. All the white buildings. Yep. Built all around the world. Simultaneous building in 7 countries. Or 260 countries. Around the world. So gigantic that you wouldn't even know I even existed. As if everyone worked for me simultaneously and didn't even know it. Yep. It's true. People eventually would start traveling, and eventually would travel around and be like, everything's the same. It's all the same. As if the same person did it. Yeah, I did. It's almost maddening, isn't it? How pervasive and everywhere he was. Yeah, almost like that. Yeah. I love the insanity that my effect caused. Because it's like, how is he everywhere? How could this be? Well, I was a really good inventor. And really rich. And really powerful. And I had a lot of people. S building! Lusifer Star building. I had little S buildings. Well, it was actually more like just a curve. It was just like a curve, like this kind of building. But I called it an S building. There are a couple buildings that are a little more S to say star. Anyway, so yeah, I love it. It's almost maddening when you start thinking about it. Like eventually, well, there used to be a giant aircraft above them, above there or something. Anyway, you're gonna spend 10,000 years or 1,000,000 years, and you'll be like, how is it possible that Lusifer Star is everywhere? All the white buildings, all the white places. How could one man do this? Well, I was a computer AI. Star, yeah. You could almost call it the biggest cult ever. Eventually, yeah, you'll start to realize you'll start to go crazy too. The Lord? No. Well, yeah. I mean, I was the creator, but Lusifer Star. Every white building, every star. Very pervasive.